Hey there, all you beautiful Texans. Welcome to the James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Happy Friday. It's a gloating Friday. Doesn't it feel good? Isn't it so fun? What? Seriously, best debate ever? Was that the best debate you ever saw? Not that, like, I hate to be so shallow because I would like for it to be decided on the issues and, you know, were they making intellectually sound points? Nah, that's not what we were watching. We were watching for the NASCAR crash. Now, we didn't see a full-on crash. For the people who were voting or betting or whatever, thinking, calling in, sending me messages that they're not even sure it would go the full 90 minutes, it did. It went the full 90 minutes. And no, there wasn't any drastic issues, but there was enough there that immediately afterwards, it's almost like the clarion call went out. Like, I don't know, they all sent each other a fax or a text or something. But I don't know, maybe they're all in a Facebook group together. Almost in unison, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, these people who are just normally on board with everything Team Blue does, they are just are even allowing themselves to have the conversation. Can he be replaced? Should he be replaced? Is he going to be replaced? Was it that bad? Who would they replace him with? And you are like, well, welcome to reality. Because now the question is, were they just pretending all along to not know that this guy's, I mean, I don't want to make fun of him because it does kind of feel like elder abuse at some level, but he is in a noticeable decline. And that's super frustrating. You feel like the kid in The Emperor Has No Clothes, because I know you probably hear that idiomatic phrase often, but remember the story is some brilliant con man sold the royal court this clothing made out of a cloth so fine that it could only be seen by intelligent people, and stupid people couldn't see it. And since everyone wanted to be perceived as intelligent, well, they did what everyone else was doing. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. That is a beautiful robe. Even the king pretended to see it. The emperor pretended to see it. Does this really look good on me? You really like it? Yeah, I like it too. Of course. No, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And everyone just pretended to see it. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then when he's parading through the streets, everyone in the crowd, all the adults, oh yeah, that is sure is some beautiful clothes, because no one wants to admit that they're stupid. Turns out they were all stupid because one kid goes, hey, how come the emperor's not wearing any clothes? Well, this was that moment. This was the moment where it just couldn't be denied any longer. And the fact that you're hearing people who just 24 hours ago were telling you he's sharp as a tack, now saying the opposite, what a great moment that is. Because you're never going to get the apology. They're never going to say, oh, boy, I really misled you for the last 3 years. Or they're never going to say, oh, man, I really got it wrong. I really thought he was okay. I was listening to people who were telling me he was okay. I interviewed people who I trusted who said that he's sharp as a tack. Don't worry, I have the montages coming. It's going to be a beautiful day of audio. It's like in Thanksgiving when they have that cornucopia, that big basket-looking horn, and all this fruit and vegetables are flowing out of it. That's what the audio clips are like today. It is a cornucopia. Would you say I have a plethora, Hefe? But you know what? Let's go and get started with the audio, because I was really trying to be an adult about this. Granted, I was in a bar and I had Miss Parker with me, and we were having some adult beverages. Hi, Miss Parker. And then there were some listeners there. I passed out some bingo cards, and we're having a good time, but I'm trying to be serious. So I'm trying to listen to like the content of what he's saying. And I think a lot of that got lost in the shuffle. Let's do that. Let's be adults here and not just make fun of an old man who's clearly in decline. That's not very nice. We need to be more mature about it and actually look at the content, the substance of what was being debated, because these are things that are going to affect your life, your grandkids' life. So let's visit his Joe Biden. I hadn't heard of this before. He has a survival plan. Is that what this is?
Now for the Magoo survival plan. First, build a shelter against the elements. Oh, ye Ossifant, what luck. Battered Hulk that can salvage enough material to build a primitive hut.
Hang on a second. I'm about 60% sure that was a Mr. Magoo clip. I'm sorry. That's me. I hit the wrong button. My bad. No. Here, this was Biden last night at the debate, talking about food or something.
Now for the next step. Food! Man man must have food to survive. Nothing like matching wits with an untamed beast.
All right, now I'm just cracking myself up, aren't I? Yeah, so it's a classic Mr. Magoo. And, I was imagining during some of these answers how nice that would be if you could have the Mr. Magoo theme song just kind of playing under him in the background while he's saying these things. But you can't be that whimsical about it. One of the first things that happen after a debate like this is both sides, they have their campaign, they have their apparatchiks, they have the machine that starts cranking out videos, because we all know how to play the social media game. They're not going to get caught off guard like in 2008. And the ninjas out there, the comedic genius ninjas out there, have just made gold after gold of these little montages and ads. Now, one of them, I believe, was retweeted by Trump, or re-exed, or I don't even know what we call it now. Is it re-exed? Is extras? XX? I don't know. But one of the best ones, and this is kind of awful, but really hits home, if someone went back to like 1990, it looks like this PSA, this public service announcement, was pulled off a VHS tape. You can kind of tell by the quality. But it's crazy because it's Beau Biden, the good son, Joe Biden's elder son, the one that died of cancer, which may have been from exposure to ugly stuff in Iraq. But he was the attorney general of Delaware, and he made a public service announcement about senior abuse. Someone took that, and they have the beginning and the end where Beau Biden standing in front of like the seal of Delaware, like the state seal. And in between the beginning and the end, in the middle, they just put clips of this dude stumbling around, and they put a clip of Jill Biden speaking for him last night after the rally, because he was out of words after the rally and or after the debate. And it is super effective. I'm going to play that for you next. But also, I'm not just going to tell you what happened and play you audio highlights. I want to hear from you. Does this mean Biden's going to be replaced? How can they replace him? How can't they replace him? Who would it be? 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. I'm James Parker. It's The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Welcome to The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Last night was bad. Or good, depending on if you find glee in such things. And if you do, I don't blame you, because you should feel righteous after what happened last night, because now a lot of people are admitting to you that they were lying to you the last 3 years, that they've really been lying to you the last 6 months super hard. But it was the last shoe to drop. I think that's I think a lot of minds were changed against Joe Biden last night. Donald Trump didn't win any votes. He just lost some resistance. Joe Biden probably lost some votes. But these are the things that are going to be cut up and used on social media like little bullets. And some of the scenes from last night are already being circulated around. Some old jokes that are now relevant again are going viral another time. And this is all that is on social media right now, for the most part, is what happened last night. Here's the worst one. Maybe I should probably say most effective one. It's the PSA, the public service announcement, from when Beau Biden was the attorney general of the state of Delaware. And he has a 30 seconds to warn you about senior abuse. And in the background, you see Biden falling, looking confused, tripping over stuff, being drug around by people, being helped off the stage, being helped down the stairs last night from the stage by his wife, which it was only 2 steps down, but it took him about 15 seconds, which isn't a long time, but it's too long to go down two steps of stairs. I mean, he was doing it super slow. And so you have some of these scenes that even included last night. So that's not what you're seeing. You're just going to hear Beau Biden. But imagine all the embarrassing trips and falls and Mr. Magoo looking moments this dude has had.
Hi, my name is Beau Biden, Attorney General of the state of Delaware. Here to talk to you about something that's very important to me and to my office, senior abuse. For every one of these types of crimes that's reported to our office, 5 go unreported. But 2 million senior Americans are affected every year. And 80% of these crimes are committed by family members against their so-called loved one. We need your help. Seniors need your help. So if you suspect that anyone is affected by any of these crimes, please contact our elder abuse hotline.
Man, that is cold. Who did that? I mean, I really don't know. I am asking rhetorically, though. You don't have to call in and say. But now we're stuck with the questions that a lot of people are asking. And now people that were pretending like everything was okay just 24 hours ago, they're asking it now. Will Biden be replaced? If so, who will replace him? How are they going to pull this off without ticking off their voters? How are they going to do this and pass over Kamala? Or maybe they put Kamala in there. All kinds of questions are floating around now because everyone in the polls is even worse. You can't run Kamala. She's not going to win. I mean, if you're guaranteed to lose, what are you just going to burn Kamala because you don't like her? I mean, if you're just putting some patsy in there to get rid of her, maybe, but that's not what you want to do. They still want to try and win, so they can't pass over her and they can't run her. So there's an immediate impasse you have right now. There's also, if they're going to bring in someone that's already a known entity, they're losing in the polls. If you're going to bring in a new person, is there enough time to introduce the American public and win support for a new person? Or are you just going to hope that just give me someone more acceptable because everyone's voting against Trump and not voting for Biden anyway? But think about what this does to their narrative, because you've been constantly warned, oh, Donald Trump's a threat to democracy. You're a threat to democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. Republicans, conservatives, libertarians, anyone who's not on Team Blue, they're a threat to democracy. And then you're going to what? Overturn the results of all 50 state primaries and caucuses? And you're just going to have it decided in a smoke-filled cigar room? Or who am I kidding? A vape-filled room by some party elites? Boy, that's going to go over like a lead balloon. You would be thwarting the majority of your supporters in all 50 states. You would be thwarting the majority of your supporters for the third election in a row. Remember that it was Hillary Clinton, where you had people in the media, had Donna Brazile feeding her the questions to a debate against Bernie Sanders. The superdelegates chose Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders. The voters, the Democrat voters in the 2016 primary chose Bernie Sanders overwhelmingly. Hillary only won because of the superdelegates. They did something similar in 2020, and now what are they going to do? 3 election cycles in a row? And then they're going to lecture us about democracy? Oh, that'd be so delicious. How would they even try and pull that off? They're in such a tough spot right now. And why? Because they kicked the can. Because they insisted on lying to you and lying to themselves. No, he'll be fine. No, he's not in mental decline. No, he'll make it. Dude, we don't even know if he's going to make it for the next 4 years. Some people are speculating he's not going to make it to November. Slow down. He'll make it to November, I think. But how are they going to choose a candidate without a public vote? How are they going to come up with an election system real quick? They can't. You know, if you're a Democrat voter, what's the point of even voting in the Democrat primaries anymore? The candidate will have been decided by party insiders the last 3 cycles. You hadn't had a vote that counted in the primaries since what? I mean, 2012 doesn't really count because no one was running against Obama. So what, 2008? Was the last time the Democrat Party listened to their primary voters? Oh, this is so great. This is, I mean, I shouldn't be this giddy because it's kind of chaotic, but it's a fun chaos. And what we have also now is today, we have the montages that are being passed around of all the Democrat hacks in the media and politics and academia and the experts and the pollsters and the journalists swearing Biden is fit for office. Dude, if he has to drop out, how brutal is that going to be? And ultimately, it's going to be up to him. I don't think they can make him step down. Sure, they have dirt on him, but if you make him step down, like if you force him to step down in the face of a public scandal, you're guaranteeing a loss for November anyway. So might as well just let him lose. So your dirt, your skeletons can stay in the closet. Oh, this is adorable. And plus, they're scared about what happens if they try and replace him. Something goes wrong. Well, not only are they going to lose the presidency, but is it going to hurt those down ballot races? Are they going to lose the Senate? Are they going to lose ground in the House? But this is great. This is an enjoyable moment. Suck it in, love it, savor it. We're going to take a quick break, and when we continue, I'll actually go through some comments from the debate. We'll analyze what was said, but also we will judge the man's mental acuity because that is what everyone is talking about today. And man, it's sweet. 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. I'm James Parker. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Hey there, welcome back to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Apologies. Made a mistake earlier. I was trying to play some Biden audio, and I got it. I messed up. I hit the Mr. Magoo audio instead. Anyway, I was promising you some debate clips. Here's one from Biden last night.
Maybe Slowpoke is pretty slow downstairs in the feet, but he's pretty fast upstairs in the cabeza.
Oh, messed up again. That's Slowpoke Rodriguez from the Speedy Gonzalez cartoons. I'll get this machine fixed. In the meantime, let's welcome my next guest, Raven Harrison, back on the James Show. Welcome, Raven. Was that the best debate ever last night, or what?
It was definitely noteworthy.
Did you get a bingo?
I did. I was the one who had my card most full because I called that. I called convicted felon. I called mumbling. I called. The only thing I missed was the technical difficulties. I thought they might have to pull the plug for a technical difficulty.
Oh man, that would have been so good. That's a bold prediction, though. Were you surprised he made it through all 90 minutes?
No, I wasn't. This was all predictable. And again, what's unpredictable was the ticker tape coming off immediately afterwards with the Dems in, quote, freak out mode. And I went, wow, I don't know why they are pretending to freak out. Everybody could see Joe Biden was headed this way. And those of us who have been saying this man is in mental decline, that it was irresponsible of the Dems to put him up and put our country at risk like this. We were labeled conspiracy theorists. They were called cheap fakes for people showing video of this. It is really, really unharrowing to see what happened last night. And the Dems owe the American people a huge apology.
I don't think we're going to get that apology, Raven. They don't have a good record of apologizing. Oh, sorry we made you wear a mask, even though that was proven to be worthless. Sorry about this vaccine. We made you lose your job and business over. We still haven't got those apologies.
Die with nukes, but but you're right. But it was on display. And when CNN and MSNBC are calling it and coming out against Biden right after the debate, you knew then it was going to be the start of them eating their own.
So will Biden be replaced?
He will. He will. He has to. I mean, there's no longevity. The problem is they have a logistics problem. They've got, do you want to be shot or stabbed? So they've got Kamala, the cackling czar nobody wants, who was so unpopular she had to drop out of the presidential race when she was running. I mean, she and I got the same number of delegates, and I wasn't even running. So that's what they've got on column A. In column B, they've got Greasy Gavin, who wants to turn America into the dump hole that California is.
Well, I think the super cynical James thinks once the Democrat Party proper people, the capital D, not the Democrats that are friends and neighbors and coworkers, but the people who work for the party, if they get the polling back, because they're going to give it about a week or so of polling before they make a decision here. If they get the polling back and they're going to lose anyway, why not just burn Kamala? Why not say, okay, we're going to make him step down. Kamala will be on the ticket, just as naturally it should be. It was the vice president. She just was supposed to slide over. Then they can get sort of the moral preening credit for the woman, and because she's female and black, or black and Indian, or whatever, the person of color. As long as she's not white, it's a plus. And they can go get credit for that. And then when she loses, they can be done with her. They don't have to worry about her coming back in 2028 or 2032. The special interest and identity politics people are happy, and that might be their best case scenario.
Well, wrong. And you're right on that. I mean, that was their diversity hire, so they got away with that. The problem they have is she can't carry it, James. She cannot. It's a guaranteed loss. She's polling. Her numbers are worse than Joe Biden's, and that's saying something.
Right, but I'm saying once they know if there's not someone that polls in the positive or polls any better, why not throw her out there and be done with her? Because that question's always going to loom. Hey, is she supposed to be next? Were you just picking her as the VP, not because she's qualified, but just to make some non-whites and people who think gender's important, just to get their votes? And I mean, the answer is yes, but it's going to be hard to admit that.
Well, they're not going to admit it. The problem they want is they don't want that. They didn't want a true diversity hire, James. They wanted power. So, and the power comes from Gavin because he's Nancy Pelosi's nephew. So if you're like a vodka-soaked tyrant and you've been in Congress since before the internet. Wouldn't it make more sense to have somebody have some nepotism going on, somebody who you can still keep your fingers on the control of the wheel and be, steering it from behind the scenes? That's exactly what you've got here. So they've always known this was the plan. I have to go on, James. I have to toot my own horn here and tell you I called this. I told you they were going to throw it back to the DNC. They were going to replace him, and they were going to put somebody in like that. This is all going according to plan. This was the plan.
Man, okay, so they are going to just throw out the results of all 50 states' primary and caucuses. And then they're going to lecture us about democracy. Then they're going to have a candidate that's chosen by party insiders for what would be the third election cycle in the row. Bernie Sanders supporters probably remember that he was going to be the nominee in 2016, but the superdelegates stole it from them.
Correct.
Not that they have trouble with the media trying to help them out with their narrative, but this is going to be tough even for them.
Well, it's going to be tough, but this is what they wanted to do. And Plan C is even more daunting, James. Plan C is that they use climate or some manufactured emergency to declare martial law and shut it down and steal it. But that's why they've got their eyes on the Congress. They want Hakeem so bad so they can make sure they don't certify Trump when he gets it, or to make sure that the Congress has to be the one that chooses the president. This is their plan because they know that 3 a.m. ballot stuff is not going to work this time.
Well, let me be optimistic and cynical. Is this a sign that they're not planning on stuffing ballots this time?
Oh, absolutely not. They're going to use every cheat they have at their disposal. The problem is that takes a lot of energy, money, and resources, and it requires the American people to kind of be looking the other direction, and nobody's doing that after that debate. Everybody's got their eyes on right now what was painfully obvious to everybody but the Democrats and the media who covered for them. They are just as complicit in this as the Democrats who ran that old man. That is elder abuse. And just for good measure, James, I have to put out there that I did have on my bingo card his earpiece falling out. And Jill Biden had the audacity to get up there and lie and said he did not have an earpiece, and it fell out in the middle of the debate.
Did it? I saw the part where he kind of scratched his ear. You think he was putting his earpiece in or something?
Oh, we ran it back. We froze it. We blew it up. That earpiece fell out.
All right. I bet you put that on Twitter. I'll go retweet it then. Thank you very much, Raven Harrison.
Thank you.
Find her at ravenharrison.com. She's got a good book, Raven's Mantle. She's got documentaries, movies, all kinds of good stuff going on. A bunch of good YouTube videos, too. Check her out. Raven Harrison. Audio from last night's debate, really montages from last night's debate. Coming up next, it's The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Hey, welcome to The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. How you doing? You're enjoying your Friday, aren't you? It's fun, isn't it? Great debate last night. Probably the most entertaining debate I've ever been a part of. I would like to thank the fine folks at Bottle Rockets. And don't worry, my wife did drive me home last night because I was enjoying myself. I made a party out of it.
I miss Parker.
And actually, we pre-gamed a little bit. And since I knew I had a ride home, I had a wide sampling of what Bottle Rockets had to offer. So that was fantastic. So where I was, it was on the big screen over the back bar where I watched a Cowboy game there. It's fantastic. It's because it's one of those bars with a tall ceiling. It's like a 2-story building, but they use both floors just for one big TV room. And so the TV I was watching this on is about as tall as the front of your house. It's like 10 feet tall. Huge. And they had it piping in on the speakers, bass and everything. It was so great. It was beautiful. But finally, sorry to mess around, but let's get to some of the actual audio from the debate here. The first time I tried to play it, it was accidentally Mr. Magoo. Apologies. I hit the wrong button. Then it was Slowpoke Rodriguez. That's the name of the mouse who talks slow in the Speedy Gonzalez cartoons. But we got it fixed. I had Garrett come in here and work on it. It should be fine this time.
Again, I'm sure that together we can make this Millennium Party the best New Year's bash ever.
Poop pants.
What?
Poop pants.
Poo pants?
Poop pants.
You pooped your pants?
Poop my pants.
Oh. Nurse, Mr. Stewart has apparently pooped his pants.
Oh, I messed up again. That's Rod Stewart on South Park. God dang it. Let's just go to the phones. This is embarrassing. JD in Allen, you're on WBAP. How was the debate last night? JD, you with me?
Sorry. Yeah, it was great. It was better than expected, actually.
So is he going to be the nominee that is going to be on the ballot in November?
unless he dies or they invoke the 25th Amendment, I think, yes, he's going to be. And I don't think it's going to be Gavin Newsom. I think Gavin Newsom's too ambitious. He's eyeing 2028. If he runs in 2024 with only 4 months till election, he knows he's going to lose. I just don't think he's going to be the one that would take the reins. The one that scares me actually would be they're really kind of stuck because of their identity politics. They're stuck on Kamala, but the only other one and one would scare me is Michelle Obama.
Well, if Michelle Obama decides that she wants to run, she would win.
I won't say that definitively, but if she decided to run, she would probably be the best one to give Trump a run for money.
Well, not the Democrats don't hate her. She has no stink on her. She has no scandals on her. She has no voting record to condemn. Because right now
that's also a liability too. No voting record, and let's not forget that she's also was never proud of her country until her husband was elected. I mean, she's got some stink on.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you think, though. It matters what Democrats think. And Democrats would be energized. They would get off their couch. And look, Democrat turnout was through the roof for the 2 Obama elections and then fell back to normal when he was gone. Now, that may be because he's black. That may be because he was just a compelling candidate. But if they can put an Obama back on that ticket and get turnout back up where it was, they would probably win. That's their best chance, I think.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it scares me. I think that's their best chance. I'm not as optimistic that they would still win, but that would be their best chance.
Well, I agree, but since we both agree on this, JD, how weird is it to be an American that people can come up to you and be like, hey, if you just run, you would be president, and they go, nah, don't think I will. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, especially since knowing who her husband is, and he's already said he wants to be behind the scenes pulling the strings of people. So
right. I mean, and on the other hand, I can understand it. She's making $15 million from Netflix, and she's not really producing or writing or holding a camera or editing any video. She just has to do a couple of scenes here and there and sign off on it. She has a sweet life. She'd be taking a huge pay cut. She'd be taking a lot of scrutiny. She'd get a terrible schedule because whether you like it or not, you have to go to all these events and you have to wake up early and you have to be places you don't want to be, and you have to do something on D-Day or January or December 6th or Memorial Day or whatever it is. And she doesn't want to, I could understand why she wouldn't want to do all that, because man, what a cush life she has now.
Agreed. And she's also stated that she doesn't want to. So, which again helps me. But then again, that's what the Democrats want, is somebody to say that they don't want it, and then let's that's the person that they want. Let's draft that person. And that's the one that scares me. Gavin Newsom, too ambitious, will not be the 2024. Even if offered, he would turn that down.
All right, JD, mark this, and if you're wrong, you have to call me back and apologize, okay?
We'll do that.
Thank you very much. That's JD and Alan. And I do owe you an apology. I got something very wrong a month ago when it was announced, and then last week and this week in our debate preview talk. I was warning you that Jake Tapper and Dana Bash were just as likely to spring a trap or be completely slanted, and they weren't that bad. I was wrong. I was glad I'm wrong. But, they were still kind of one-sided, but they didn't interrupt them. They didn't abuse the mute button. And the fact that we're not talking about them more today, the other channels, CNN, MSNBC, not talking about them, they're kind of like refs. As long as they're not in the conversation after the game, they probably did a good job. So I was wrong. Jake Tapper, Dana Bash, for being what they are, I think they did a pretty good job. And I don't mind telling you I'm wrong. In fact, it shocks me that more people don't tell you they're wrong. I mean, it shocks me that all these people who were telling you for the last 6 months, oh man, he is so sharp and with it and just ready to go. He could probably win Jeopardy for like 5 days in a row. Now, those people owe you an apology now. At the Major League Baseball All-Star Game coming to Arlington, July 16th. There's a whole lot of events coming up the week of those. Celebrity softball game, bunch of stuff. You go over to WBAP.com, the contest page. Register for your chance to win tickets to some of those festivities going on July 13th through the 16th. Will Joe Biden be replaced? How did you like the debate last night? We'll ask Blonde Kamala next. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.